Today, I wanted to talk about my customer service experience. It's the good, the bad, the ugly of it, all of that, because I feel like a lot of people only talk about the bad and the ugly, but there are some good things about working in customer service as well. I'm also going to talk about a few of those. And most customer services experiences are not that bad, but those bad ones really stand out. And oh my gosh, are those stories funny? I worked in 3 different places as a customer service associate. I started off as a cashier, then I worked at McDonald's for 2 weeks because McDonald's, 2 weeks, more than 2 weeks, I couldn't handle more than 2 weeks of working at McDonald's. And then I worked as a supervisor at this store that I cannot mention even like what kind of store it was. My first customer service job, I was a senior in high school. I got a job as a cashier at this discount grocery store. I'm not going to name it because it is a good store. The one I worked at, the managers were really nice. They treated us properly. The employees were nice. The only problem that we had were the customers. We'd get a lot of college kids because since it was a discount grocery store, we get a lot of college kids coming in. Those guys were pretty cool most of the time, but then sometimes we get some really awful customers. I'm talking about like we get the worst customers sometimes. This store was basically like that nice Goodwill, like that Goodwill that has a contract with like Target and like boutique stores around the area, and maybe if something is out of style or something is overstocked, it goes to that Goodwill. Yeah, this was like that type of grocery store I worked at. We did not get like used food or expired food. We get like overstocked items and maybe like items that were a little damaged but they were still good. And then we get like fresh produce and eggs and milk and stuff like that. But like the non-perishable items, we would get overstocked or a little damaged but still good. So this place was, as I said, super, super, super cheap. Sometimes there would be sales that were so insane that, oh my gosh, this store would flood with people looking to get 50-cent Nutella jars, which actually happened. It was insane. There was like 50 to 75-cent jars of Nutella. Like they were this big, like the big jars. I'm talking about like, the proper jars of Nutella. And they'd be like 50 cents because a store next door they ordered like 150 too many or something like that. So that's the story I'm going to start with, is the Nutella story. We had an overstock of Nutella. I'm talking like good, proper Nutella, not some knockoff brand. This was Nutella. And the store next door got an overstock of like 150 to 200 jars. And that Nutella was going to expire that next month. They ordered it and they got like, it wasn't very good. It was almost expired. So we were like, oh my gosh, we have to get rid of this Nutella fast. So we sold that Nutella for about 50 to 75 cents. I'm not sure how much it was. I don't remember. But I remember I got myself like a few jars as well. We all got a few jars. And one day there was this flock of college students that came in. This is a college city. We get like, there's like 2 colleges and then like 2 campuses of colleges that are out of the city. So there's a lot of colleges and a lot of college students here. And these like 6 or 7 college students were throwing a party the night after, and they wanted to get some chips and some stuff, like I think some soda. The soda was super cheap, okay? Some soda and some stuff just for their party, and then all of a sudden you hear them cheering in the back of the store where the Nutella was, and we all looked at each other. We're like, they found the Nutella, they found the gold. So they got like 20 to 40 jars of Nutella. I'm not even sure. And they came to my line. I was a cashier and they came to my line. There I am scanning chips, dip, sodas, and a lot of other party stuff. And I get to the Nutella and it's ringing up for like less than $1 each. So I'm like ringing all this stuff up, and it comes to about like less than $50, okay? Like this stuff was coming up cheap. And at this store, because it was so cheap, at the end of the receipt, you'd get like you save $50 or something like that. These guys, I shit you not, saved $250 of Nutella. $250 in total. My manager was impressed. There was this bell at the first cash register that if somebody saved more than $100, you would ring it. It was like one of those things that you see at Trader Joe's where when somebody is ringing the bell, you hear some, people are like yelling something, you have no idea. But, yeah, so the manager rang the bell for like 30 seconds at least. And these guys got like coupons and all this stuff because they saved over $250, and my boss is like, y'all deserve it, right? The next good story I want to talk about was this man came in with a homeless man off the streets, and he did some shopping for him. This man, he said, look, I have $30 to spend. Let's go to the grocery store, and you could buy $30 worth of groceries. And at this store, $30 worth of groceries would get you like a week's worth of food. Okay, this place was cheap. So this man takes this homeless man out around the store, and he picks out any food he wants that's like, he can eat without having to cook. And they come to my line as well. And this man, I'm bagging his groceries, and he's like, and the man's like, no, I don't want any plastic bags because I got nowhere to take them. Could you please this man is like, I'll put them in my backpack. And I said, okay, sure. So he puts all his food in his backpack and whatever else he had to carry. This very nice man got him $30 of groceries. And I've never seen somebody so happy in my life. I've never seen somebody so grateful, so happy. And there should be more people like this. Like, this man just took the time out of his day to take a man he did not know grocery shopping for food. And this man got things like, canned beans and things like that. Just things he could carry around. This man also got himself like a can opener so he can open these beans and things like that. And he said, I'll drive you back to the homeless shelter. And because he knew, unfortunately, there is a problem here with violence amongst the homeless community. So he said, I'll drive you back to your homeless shelter and make sure you get your groceries in there safely. So he did that, and that was the last time I've seen him. But I thought it was a really, really nice story. Now on to the bad stories. Oh my gosh. This guy. Okay, there was this guy that would come in, and I'm not going to use the real nickname we gave him, because then people will figure out where this is. But we're going to call this guy Larry, okay? Larry was a fucking asshole, okay? He was the worst kind of human being I have ever met in person, okay? This is just an awful person. He would come in and he would get off on yelling at the employees and trying to get them fired. This guy was so bad, but he would bend around the rules of the store, so there was no way he could get kicked out. The managers would tell him, sir, you need to leave and you need to come back when you get a better attitude. Like, the managers knew who he was, but there was nothing they could do. This guy would come in and ask for items that he knew we did not have in stock. The first time I met him, he came up to me and I was stocking items, and he's like, do you have gallons of orange juice? And I never met this guy before, so I'm just there like, Oh, I'm sorry, we don't have gallons of orange juice. We do have orange juice in this aisle by the milk, but we do not have gallons of orange juice, unfortunately. This man flips the fuck out. Okay, I'm talking like he starts yelling to the point where my manager had to run to me to make sure I was okay. And he starts yelling, the grocery store right next door, they have gallons of orange juice and they'll probably sell it for cheaper. I don't know why you guys call yourself a grocery store. You don't have anything I need. Why are you doing? I am going to report you for harassment. He was just being awful. And I'm just there like, oh my gosh, like I've never worked in customer. This is the first time I worked in customer service. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I'm being yelled at by a complete stranger. This never happened to me before. So I was there like my heart was sinking. I was scared. I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? How do I calm this man down? My manager came running to me and he stopped this man. He calmed him down and he said, sir, I'm going to have to ask you to leave if you're going to yell at my employees. The man said, you don't know who I am. I'm a lawyer and I will sue you. Like something was wrong with this. This man was not a lawyer. You could tell he was not a lawyer. A lawyer knows what deodorant is. Okay, this man was not a lawyer. All right, put that out there. This man would come to the lines being super friendly, like, oh, hey, how are you doing today? And people were, and he would always go to a new employee for this. The older employees would be there and they'd be like bracing themselves like, oh shit, this person does not know what they're in for. So he goes to them with like his groceries and then he'd sneak another piece of grocery in. He would put up the separator, like those separators that go on the thing that separates the people's groceries. He would put that on and then put like bread or Coke or something like that on the other side. So the person would finish ringing up thinking that the next item was for the next person in line, and she'd ring up and say, like $20 or something. This man would go out and then come back in and say, where's my bread? Or where's my Coke or something? And she'd say, I'm sorry, sir, like, what are you talking about? He's like, where's my bread? You stole my bread. How dare you steal my bread? I am going to sue you. Like, crazy guy, right? So, like, this guy was he was just awful. So, next thing you know, the employee said, my manager said, did you put your bread behind the separator again? And the man's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I would never do that. I'm not an idiot like this woman over here. How dare you talk to me like that? And the manager said, look, I know your tricks. You need to go. So I've met this guy a lot of times, but those are the two worst stories I've had with him. Luckily, I did not have to deal with him that time. I just witnessed it. Thank God. Another thing that happened was we would get people trying to get an item for cheaper than it already was. So this woman came up with a thing this big of avocado oil. Okay, avocado oil is very expensive and we had it for like $3.50. Okay, shit was cheap at this grocery store. And she's like, I don't think this is worth $3.50. I did not have to deal with this woman, but my manager did, and I witnessed the whole damn thing. And our manager said, ma'am, this avocado oil at the cheapest grocery store other than this one goes for $7. This is really cheap. And the woman said, I don't care. I want a discount. This is not worth $3.50. For those of you who don't know, olive oil in and of itself is expensive. Avocado oil is extremely expensive. Like, I don't think, the only place I found it for less than $7 or $8 or $10 was at this specific brand store. So if I find avocado oil for $3.50 and I like avocado oil, I'm getting it at that store. So this woman is like yelling. She's like, it's not worth $3.50. I found it at Walmart for $2. I want a discount. You need a price match. And this manager looked at this lady and said, ma'am, I know for a fact that avocado oil is not $2 at Walmart. It was just, oh my God, this woman just drove me nuts. This woman is screaming. She is like saying, I want it for cheaper. I want it for cheaper. And then she'd run to the cash register and say, you better give me a discount. The manager said I can have a discount for $2. The manager would say, no, I did not. You lady need to get out of my store. You need to get out of the store right now. And this woman would like constantly lose her mind. And luckily she was kicked out. She never came back because she was a scammer. Or like, she would scam people, like kind of, I guess it's kind of a scam, but she would try. She wasn't very smart. She would try though. Another lady, this one was actually a scammer. This one was bad. We had to call security on her. I mean, this lady was something else. This lady would come in, and this lady one time came in. She did all her grocery shopping, and she came to me when I was at the line. She was like, I want to pay half of this on my EBT card. On my EBT card, which is like where food stamps are. And she's like, and I want to buy the other half of this with my husband's EBT card. Now, I was on EBT for a while. Like, I had food stamps when I was starting out in life. I was on those. I know for a fact you cannot use another person's food stamps without them present. So at that time I didn't know, but now I do. But at the time, even then, I was like, okay, let me call my manager. And someone's like, you don't have to call your manager. I have the rules on my phone right here. You can use, if you're married, your husband's EBT card. And I was like, ma'am, for security, I'm going to have to talk to my manager so I don't get in trouble. So this woman is like, okay, well, you could talk to your manager, but they'll tell you the same thing. You'll get so embarrassed. So I called my manager and I told him that this woman wanted to use 2 different EBT cards, one that was hers and one that was her husband's. So my manager said, okay, no, we can't allow for that to happen. Your husband needs to be present, and we need to make sure that that you are not scamming us. So this woman flips out as well. Why do people flip out all the time at customer service agents? I'm trying to do my job. I'm trying not to get fired. I'm trying not to get arrested. Y'all flip out on everybody. I don't get it. But we have rules to follow, people. Rules and laws. You can't be flipping out on people if they're following rules. Okay, I get some rules are stupid, but they have to follow them so they don't get fired. Okay, so we caught this woman. Not much other than that happened. We got the groceries put back. We called security to take her out. Well, not like take her out of the store. And I've never seen her again. On to the ugly. There's one, oh my God, this was disgusting. Children, don't listen. If there are children listening to this, there are people under 18 listening to this, you should not be this is disgusting what happened. Okay? Freaking disgusting. Oh. So, every night we take turns cleaning the bathrooms. And one night it was my turn. And I noticed that everybody seemed to be extremely relieved about it. Until I went into the men's bathroom. It looked okay. It looked like people abused it, but, you know. I noticed it smelled a little bit. That's normal for the men's bathroom. There wasn't shit smeared on the walls or anything. But while I'm cleaning the urinal, as I'm cleaning it, this sticky stuff, clear stuff, was on the sponge. At that point, I had a boyfriend, so I knew exactly what it was. This shit ended up on my arm, okay? This was a lot of it. I had like those long gloves, and it managed to reach down to my elbow and stuff, and it was touching it. I dropped that sponge. I washed my arm so hard. I was so disgusted. And I'm talking to my managers like, I don't know how to clean that stuff up. That is absolutely disgusting. My manager said, "Don't worry, I got this. You go to the women's bathroom." Little did I know that people weren't relieved about a man's stuff in the urinal. They were relieved because the women's bathroom had shit on the floor. Here's the thing. I have a kid. I have another on the way. I'm still hating poop. I don't like the smell of poop. I don't like touching it. I don't like cleaning it. I just don't like it. When I'm cleaning my son's diaper, when he was a newborn, the smell wasn't too bad. But now that he's a toddler, whenever I am cleaning whenever he goes, I have to clean him. I have to do this while I'm cleaning it the whole time. For some reason, the smell of poop makes me throw up. I know as a mother, I should be used to it by now, but I am not, okay? At least I get the job done. At least I do what a mother is supposed to do. And I'm looking, and I'm like, you gotta be effing kidding me. This cannot be legal. I am not a hazmat team. What in the actual hell? I look at my manager, I'm like, am I allowed to clean the shit? And yes, I said shit. The shit on the floor. He said, there's shit on the floor? And I said, yeah, I don't think that an untrained high schooler needs to be cleaning poop off the floor. So he's like, okay, I knew there was something going on in that bathroom, but nobody would tell me what was going on. And I said, you didn't even bother to check? Because I think that you need to have a specific team of people to clean up human waste. So my manager's like, okay, you know what? I'll talk to the store manager. We'll see what to do. You can leave that alone because you're right. I don't think it's safe to clean up somebody else's excrement. So just go home. You're relieved for the day. You did a good job. So I went, and I don't know what happened, but I quit that job 2 months later because I was tired of that bullshit. Another ugly story. This woman would come in every day and we had like these really cheap sodas. They were really good. They tasted really good. They just weren't like name brand. They were like generic brand. So she would come in and buy like a case of like 12, Cokes or 12 Cokes or 12 root beers or 12 this, 12 that, like she would come in and, switch it up. And I always thought it was weird. I was like, oh, maybe she just likes soda a lot, like maybe she likes, I don't know, like I noticed it after about a week that she would buy this stuff every day. And not only that, I noticed that she did not smell good at all. Like, she would come into the store and the whole store would stink. Okay, it would stink. But she looked clean. She just didn't smell clean. Come to find out, my coworker, who I talked to a lot, said, oh yeah, she comes in every day she's been coming in every day for like 2 years to buy a case of Shasta, which is like it was like this generic type brand of soda. It's apparently pretty popular in this city. And I'd be like, are you kidding me? She said, yeah, she drinks the whole case in a day. In 24 hours, she drinks 12 cans this big of soda. And I was like, oh my gosh. Because that explained a lot of the smell. Because she would smell literally like poop drenched in perfume. Okay? It did not smell good. The whole place would smell after she left. And you know what? I mean, I don't mean to judge people. She probably had like a serious sugar addiction, you know? Like there's some serious sugar addictions out there. But apparently that's all she drank. Like she would have water to live, but she would barely drink anything else other than Shasta. You know, you try not to judge, but when something like that happens, something so shocking to you happens because you don't even think that a human could drink a case of soda in a day, every day. It makes you think, whoa, like you as a human being, you will be like, what in the actual fuck? So I noticed that this video is going to be really, really long, so I'm going to leave it here, and I'm going to talk about my McDonald's experience. It's 2 weeks, and it was nothing but experiences in those 2 weeks. Jeez, that was nothing but experiences in 2 weeks. Every day, something happened. Every day something happened at McDonald's. I am not kidding. This was the shitty McDonald's of the town. It was the crowded one, so something always happened. So I'm going to put that into another video sometime and then talk about the other place. That place did not have too many experiences. That place was probably going to be a short video. Just stop yelling at people who are trying to do their damn job. Okay? If somebody's rude to you, you have a reason to be pissed. But if somebody is being polite to you, being professional and doing their job right, but there's a rule that you don't like, but they have no choice to follow, don't blame it on them. Don't blame it on them. There's nothing they can do. Okay, they're just trying not to get fired. They're trying to make a living. But, oh boy. Yeah. So anyway, that's it for this video. If you liked it, press like. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on Sunday. Bye.